Before the sun rises, the Roman camp already looks like a city drawn with a ruler. Streets run straight, tents sit in perfect rows, and every tool has a place. The empire begins its day, not with inspiration, but with organization. A horn blast cuts through the quiet like a knife. Sleep ends instantly, because in the legion, time is commanded. A slow man makes the whole unit slower, and Rome does not forgive slowness. The legionary swings his legs out and finds his sandals without looking. Around him men rise like a single creature, each one practiced in the same movements. The optio walks the line, counting heads before anyone can disappear into excuses. He straps on armor the way a carpenter grips a hammer, by habit. Leather bites, metal shifts, weight settles onto shoulders. It is heavy, yes, but it is also familiar, like the rules that keep him alive. The scutum is checked for cracks, the gladius for a clean edge, the pilum for a straight shaft. Rome's weapons are not decorative, they are contracts. If the wood fails, the body pays. Then comes the centurion, the walking rule book with a vine staff. He doesn't need to shout much. His presence is enough. 100 men straighten because one man is watching. Belts, straps, sandals, helmets, everything is examined. The optio notes who is late, who is sloppy, who is quiet but dependable. In Rome's army, details are the difference between ready and dead. A loose strap earns a sharp correction. Not cruelty, prevention. The legion punishes small failures, so they don't become disasters in battle. Tasks are assigned like gears in a machine. Some men drill, some dig, some carry supplies, some stand watch. A Roman day is planned before it is lived. The eagle's standard appears, and the camp feels different. The aquilifer carries more than metal. He carries identity. Men who might grumble at hunger still stand taller when the eagle is near. For a heartbeat, there's calm. The narrator could point out the clever truth. Rome wins wars before fighting, by turning chaos into routine. Then the day bites again, and the work begins. Sunlight spills into the camp streets, and nothing changes except visibility. The rules were already there in the dark. For a legionary, dawn is not new hope. It is the same duty, made brighter. Training starts while muscles are still stiff. The centurion wants obedience to be automatic, because fear makes thinking slow. The legion drills so the body remembers when the mind hesitates. Scuda lock together, edge to edge, like a moving wooden fortress. The optio checks spacing with a practiced eye. One gap is an invitation, and enemies always accept invitations. They practice the pilum throw. Step, breathe, release. It's not a heroic javelin toss. It's a timed action meant to ruin shields and break confidence. The centurion demands the same angle every time. Then the wooden post, Rome's silent teacher. The legionary thrusts again and again, not slashing wildly, but stabbing with economy. The lesson is simple: short movements, fast endings. A legionary carries his life on his back. Tack, tools, rations, stakes. Nearby mules haul what men cannot. Rome's army is not just fighters. It is a moving construction site with shields. The century pivots on command, turning as a single block. The optio watches feet and spacing because the line doesn't break by magic. It breaks when small mistakes stack up. A centurion corrects posture, grip, and timing like a craftsman. His standards are not personal. They are survival mathematics. A disciplined soldier is cheaper than a replacement. Water breaks are quick, controlled, and never indulgent. Men drink, wipe sweat, then return to the line. The legion doesn't rest because it is tired. It rests so it can keep working. The eagle is present even in training, a reminder that this is not a club, it's an institution. Men glance at it the way sailors glance at a lighthouse. It doesn't fight, but it keeps them pointed in the same direction. The medicus treats the real enemy of long campaigns: blisters, sprains, infected cuts, exhaustion. A legionary with ruined feet can't march, and a legion that can't march is already losing. Medicine in camp is strategy by another name. When drill ends, nobody celebrates. They simply shift tasks like a machine changing gears. A Roman soldier is trained for war, but most days are built from labor. The narrator can pause the story to explain the genius. Rome organizes men like it organizes roads. Engineers and officers turn time into output. Then the legion marches out to build the empire with its hands. The legionary shoulders a pickaxe instead of a spear. Rome's soldiers dig more often than they duel, and every shovel of earth is a vote for survival. An engineer marks the ground with rods and gestures. Ditch here, palisade there, road grade corrected. The legionary watches and learns the quiet truth. Rome is geometry wearing armor. They dig a defensive ditch with practiced rhythm. Cut, lift, throw, repeat. It's ugly work, but it keeps raiders from rushing the camp at night. Fortification starts as exhaustion. Stakes are sharpened and hammered into the earth. A wall doesn't appear, it is forced into existence by aching arms. The engineer checks spacing, the legionary swings again. A road is laid with layers, stone, gravel, careful slope for drainage. It looks simple when finished, which is the whole point. Rome hides effort inside smooth results. Mules arrive with sacks, tools, amphorae, and tent poles. Without them, men starve and work stops. Logistics is Rome's bloodstream, and a muleteer keeps it flowing. A local civilian stands at a distance, watching the strange, disciplined swarm. For frontier people, the legion is both protection and pressure. Rome arrives like weather. You don't argue with it. You adapt. Sometimes trade happens. Eggs, wool, beer, vegetables, anything worth carrying. The cook bargains, the legionary watches. Even an army needs ordinary exchange to feel human. By midday, the sun punishes metal and skin. Armor becomes an oven. Dust becomes paste on the face. This is the hidden cost of empire, paid in sweat long before blood. The optio checks progress like a clerk of war. How many stakes? How deep is the ditch? How many men still working? Rome measures everything because it expects results. A strap breaks, and the legionary fixes it before it becomes a problem. The legion survives because men maintain themselves like equipment. A careless soldier is expensive. Work parties file back through the gate, dirty and tired. The centurion watches them enter, already thinking about tomorrow's tasks. In Rome's world, finishing one job is simply permission to start the next. Food is not fancy. Bread, cheese, olives, maybe some dried meat. It's fuel, not celebration. But after labor, even simple food feels like a reward. Men cook in small tent groups, sharing pots and chores. One stirs, one cuts, one watches the fire. Brotherhood forms fastest when everyone is hungry together. Pay comes with strings. Deductions for food, gear, and supplies are recorded on tablets. The legionary learns that even in the army, Rome keeps accounts. Some men keep letters, a small charm, a carved piece of wood, proof that they existed before the uniform. The legionary holds his token briefly, then puts it away. Private life is allowed, but only in small doses. Dice clatter on a shield used as a table. Bragging follows naturally. In a life of rules, games are a small rebellion that everyone tolerates. The aquifer passes by, and the jokes soften. Men nod, a little more serious. The eagle makes even a tired camp feel like it belongs to something larger than hunger. The medicus moves through the camp like a quiet mechanic of bodies. He checks swollen feet, wraps wrists, warns men to rest when possible. Keeping soldiers functional is its own kind of victory. A rumor drifts in with traders. Raiders seen near the tree line, tracks along the river. The legionary listens without showing fear. In the frontier, rumors are the first warning system. The narrator can point out the secret of Roman power. Most of it is boring. Boredom means routines are holding, and when routines hold, Rome can respond faster than anyone else. The light cools, fires brighten, and voices lower. The legionary folds the day in his shoulders. Tomorrow will come, but for now, the camp breathes. A runner appears at the gate, breathless and dusty. The optio hears the report and his face tightens. The difference between routine and danger can be one sentence long. The alarm horn sounds, shorter, sharper than the wake-up call. Men move instantly. not because they feel brave, but because they are trained. Fear arrives second, formation arrives first. A legionary runs to his assigned point, shield up, pilum in hand. The optio pushes stragglers into place, counting again, always counting. Rome meets threats with arithmetic. Beyond the ditch, movement flickers in the tree line. Maybe scouts, maybe raiders, maybe nothing. The frontier loves uncertainty, and uncertainty is its own weapon. The centurion doesn't chase the shadows. He holds the gate, keeps the sentry tight, and waits for clearer information. Impatience loses battles faster than swords do. The aquilifer stands where everyone can see him. The eagle doesn't move unless the unit moves. In that stillness, the legionary's heartbeat slows, because the symbol says, "We are still together." The optio repeats the rule. Nobody leaves the line. A single curious soldier can become a hole the enemy walks through. Discipline is a wall you build with bodies. A movement fades. No arrows, no rush. It might have been animals, distant scouts, or even a deliberate test of readiness. In the Legion, even a quiet ending teaches a lesson. Stay sharp. A distant shout, a brief scuffle near the outer pickets, then silence again. The legionary never sees the full story, only fragments. That's how frontier danger usually arrives, incomplete and inconvenient. The optio dismisses men in controlled steps. Nobody relaxes all at once. The legion returns to normal, like a blade going back into its sheath, carefully. A narrator can underline what just happened. Rome practices panic without becoming panicked. The alarm wasn't just a scare. It was proof that routine can pivot into readiness in seconds. A legionary exhales, shoulders still tight, and picks up his ordinary task again. This is the strange truth of soldiering. Danger visits, leaves, and life continues anyway. The empire runs on days like this. Now comes the quiet work. Cleaning, mending, sharpening. A Roman soldier maintains gear the way a farmer maintains a plow. Tomorrow's survival is built tonight. The optio writes again, names, tasks, incidents, missing straps, late arrivals. Paperwork is power in miniature. In Rome's army, memory is written down so it can be enforced. A soldier who failed inspection earlier is assigned extra labor. No spectacle, no cruelty, just more weight, more digging, more time. The punishment is the message. You will not make your comrades pay for your laziness. The centurion praises a job done cleanly, even if his face barely changes. In the Legion, respect is usually quiet. A nod from the centurion can feel like a medal. A aquilifer locks the eagle away under guard. Symbols are treated like living things, protected, counted, never left alone. Losing the eagle is not just defeat, it's shame that outlives the men. After tension, even simple food tastes stronger. Men speak more softly, reliving the moment the horn sounded. The camp digests fear the way it digests bread, slowly, together. The medicus checks the men who overstrain themselves during the alarm. A twisted ankle or torn strap matters now, not later. He keeps the legion functional by treating small damage before it becomes collapse. Someone tells a story about a campaign long ago, making it sound funnier than it was. Laughter is a tool. It turns hard memory into something lighter to carry. Noise fades as night rules take over. Fires are controlled, streets clear. The optio assigns watch rotations, because Rome sleeps like it fights, by schedule. The legionary's body aches, but it's a familiar ache. It means the day produced something, a ditch deeper, a road flatter, a camp safer. In Rome's logic, tiredness is proof of duty. Night watch begins. The camp is quieter now, but the frontier is not asleep. The legionary steps into the dark with a torch and a task. Notice what others miss. He listens for unnatural sounds. Footsteps where there shouldn't be. Birds startled at the wrong time. Somewhere out there, other eyes may be watching the camp. The frontier is a conversation of silence. A replacement arrives and the torch is handed over without ceremony. The optio checks that the swap happened correctly. In Rome, even rest must be verified. Inside the tent, the legionary removes armor carefully, not dropping anything, not wasting motion. He is too tired to think big thoughts. But small thoughts slip through. Home, money, years left to serve. Some men whisper a prayer, some touch a charm, some simply stare at the roof and breathe. In a system built on rules, private rituals help men feel like individuals. Rome allows it, quietly. The narrator can point out how the camp changes at night. Fewer voices, more torch patrols, sharper boundaries. The same grid that felt ordinary at dawn now feels protective. Design becomes comfort. Even locked away, the eagle is felt. The aquifer checks it once more, like a guardian checking a sleeping child. In a world of mud and steel, symbols still matter. In another part of the camp, the centurion and Optio speak quietly over tablets. Tomorrow, more ditch, more road, another drill. The empire is built by repeating the same hard day until the landscape changes. No emperor visited. No grand battle happened, and yet the empire depended on this day. The discipline, the digging, the readiness, the watch. Rome survives because ordinary days don't break. Our tiny storytellers remind us that empires aren't built only by famous victories. They're built by routine. Men who wake on command, train until movements become instinct, dig until the ground itself obeys, and stand watch while others sleep. One day in a legionary's life looks small, until you realize Rome made thousands of such days into history.